Welcome back to my channel. I'm Teresa. It's the first week in a new month, and that means it's time to create another project to hang in our IKEA frame. For those of you that are new here, every month I've been creating a page to hang in here, and based on a different word each month, and using just different techniques and ideas to create just a piece of artwork to have displayed in my craft room. The word that I've chosen for October is brave, and because it's October and the season of all things spooky, I'm going to do a Halloween themed piece of artwork to hang in here. So as always, I've got my little template here so that I've cut myself some cardstock, which is 3 1/4 by 5 1/4 inches. When I've finished, I'm going to punch my holes in the top as always so I can hang it. And for those of you that may have not seen any of the previous videos in this series, I'll pop a link up in the corner there to the playlist where you can go and watch them all. And right at the beginning, there's the details of the name of the frame and everything if you want to get hold of one and maybe join in for next year. So in the meantime, this is just a piece of watercolour cardstock. I'm going to be blending some Distress Oxide inks in the background, and then I'm going to be using some of these fun Impression Obsession stamps. The sets that I've got here are called Bats About You and Bump in the Night. And I'm going to be using this pumpkin boy image of this set and the sentiment of this one, which I'm going to alter slightly so that I can use my word brave. But first of all, I want to blend my inks in the background and just create a nice graded effect. So I've got fossilised amber, ripe persimmon, seedless preserves and chipped sapphire, and those are the colours that I'm using today. And I'm just going to be blending using some foam applicator tools. You can use blending brushes, use whatever you've got. So I'm starting at the top with the fossilised amber, moving on to the ripe persimmon, then the seedless preserves, just building up a nice depth of colour. And finally the chipped sapphire at the bottom. Just going to get a scrap of paper just to hold that there so I don't get a fingerprint in it. And then just softening the blend slightly. I'm really happy with that. It's not a completely seamless blend, but that's perfect background for what I want here. I just want some nice intense colour. So I'm just going to move these out of the way and just wipe my table to get rid of the excess ink, and then we'll be back and move on to the next step. So I've stamped my image using some jet black archival ink. I've used this ink because it's waterproof, and I'm going to be using my watercolours to colour it in. So this is my Arteza set of watercolours, really nice range of colours, nice vibrant intense colours. I will pop a link down below if you want to check out the Arteza store. And I've just got a paintbrush and some water here because obviously I need to rinse my brush and clean it in between. But I'm just going to colour it in, not being too particular. It's quite a simple image to colour. And when we finish colouring this, we're going to cut him out. So don't worry too much if you go over the lines, because as I say, he'll be cut out, you won't notice it. Just picking some colours that I think will contrast with our background. And I think we'll give him some stripy legs. Now you can colour with pencils or markers if you want to. Just use an appropriate ink pad for whatever your chosen colouring medium is. So I'll just dry this off with my heat tool and then we can cut him out. And here's our cute little pumpkin guy, all cut out, ready to stick on. Now I had intended to pop it on this way up with the dark colour at the bottom, but his orange head is going to be in the orange band. And I think it'll look much nicer if I flip it over like that, and then the colour will be a good contrast to the background. So, you know, a good idea with this, don't punch the holes until you're actually ready to hang it, because that gives you the option to move it around. And as I say, I think I'm going to do it this way, and rather than stamp the sentiment at the top, which I was going to do, I'll put it at the bottom because I want it over the yellow bit, the lighter coloured background. So I'm going to glue him in place so I know where I can place my sentiment. And I'm going to be stamping this directly onto the background, again using the black archival ink. But the phrase that I'm using is "be afraid, be very afraid." But because I want this word this month to be brave, I've stamped out the word brave twice, just using two different little alphabet sets that I've got. And I'm going to be popping the word brave over where the word afraid occurs in the phrase, just to change it up a little bit. So I've got my glue. This is my Cosmic Shimmer acrylic glue, and I always pop it in these little bottles with a fine tip. There's a link to these in the Amazon storefronts in the description below if you're interested. I know that a lot of people have been and bought them and find them sort of indispensable for this type of thing. So we're going to pop him there. Just going to take my scrap of card again, just so I can press down firmly without making a mark. And I've got my stamping platform here, my archival ink. So we'll just pop that in place there. And my sentiment's going to go there. I want it over these paler coloured inks so it just stands out a little bit more. The other alternative would be to possibly stamp and then heat emboss in white or gold so that it stands out over the darker colours. But again, using the jet black archival just because I've got it out. Just give that a second go, because this watercolour card has a slight texture on it. Not massively textured, but it has enough that it is nice just to use the stamping platform, because it gives you that second chance in case the texture of the cardstock stops you from getting a clear impression. I just want to ink around the edges of this slightly, just to finish it off. If you don't have an alphabet set of stamps, you could print these words on your printer or just write them out by hand. I do like playing around with the words in stamp sets. Just makes them a little bit more versatile. So there we go. At this time of year, when the spooks and the ghouls are all out and everybody's telling you to be afraid, well, don't. Be brave. Put on your brave face and keep your head held high and face your demons head on. So I'm going to punch my holes in the top and then I can put it in the frame. And here he is in place in his frame. I've added some ring reinforcers at the top. Once again, I've used my We Are Memory Keepers punch. I found it really handy just to cut different coloured ring reinforcers from scraps of card. But you know, you can buy the white ones, colour them yourself. You can pick up coloured ones from stationery stores. But I like just to do this. It's nice. I can complement whatever I've already got in my background. Quick and easy one today. Really nice. Distress Oxide inks, always a good option for creating a fun background. And I wanted just to keep this quite simple and just let it speak for itself. It's a bit of fun and a bit of colour to look at on a gloomy day in October. So as always, if you enjoyed this video, please leave me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Big thank you to those of you that were asking if I'm feeling any better and wishing me that I feel better, because last month I was not very well at all. Not 100% yet, but definitely well on the mend at the moment. So thank you for all your good wishes. Still just a little bit of a stuffy nose, but I don't feel half as bad as I did a while ago. But for now, that's all. I shall see you again next week with another video. Bye.
I'm feeling way too low to start this night, but I wanna get